Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steve and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on an episode of this amazing new series that we have in place. This is episode 1 of this first Cities Skylines 2 Let's Play series on my channel. And welcome to the Ottawa-Gatineau region. This is a series set in the theme of Ottawa-Gatineau along the Ottawa River in Ontario and Quebec. I'm really excited for this series because I live in the Ottawa-Gatineau region, and I'm really excited to bring the themes that I see every day in my life to Cities Skylines 2. This is also my first time ever playing Cities Skylines 2. I have only gone through like the first little set of tutorials, so I built like 4 roads, that's it, in the game. So this is kind of a let's play series on top of a learn to play series. So I'm hoping that this series becomes kind of like the series that is going on for a long time, where we can bring in all the future DLCs into this city. It'll remain 100% vanilla, and in the future we can dabble with mods and whatnot in maybe this map, maybe in another map or something. But what is going to be built in this series? Well, looking around the map here, exiting the photo mode, I'm still learning how the photo mode works. The theme that we're going to be playing with, if you missed the series trailer, the series preview episode, we are going to be kind of building 2 cities in one. 2 cities separated by this wonderful river through here with 2 very different themes. So we're going to have one side be one theme and one side be the other theme. And I'm taking the idea of Ottawa-Gatineau for this series because the cities of Ottawa and Gatineau, while they are very similar, they are also very different. Just right across the river, they are very different cities with very different styles for various historical reasons, and we will get to them throughout this series and try to build a city, well, 2 cities in kind of a similar manner where we have different historical pressures leading to 2 different historical cities right across the river from one another. So with that, let's start building, because I have never really built beyond those 4 roads that I built for the tutorial in this game. So, you know, with every single City Skylines start, what do you need to do? Well, you gotta build a road, don't you? And we have our starting entrance right here, which is very classic City Skylines 1 entrance into a city. And I will just have a little caveat before we get going any further, that what we're building today may not last throughout the entire series, especially when I'm looking at the infrastructure that's already in place. I don't think I want the highway there, so I'm definitely going to move the highway at some point in the series. We also have the rail running through here. I don't think I want the rail there, so we're definitely going to be moving that throughout the series as well, along with a lot of terraforming to get this map to our liking. So when I'm looking at building a city, what I like to start off with doing is finding where a city would have started up. And, you know, looking at some historical kind of cities and knowing where cities kind of emerge from, you know, usually they spawn up at confluences of rivers. And we have this river running down through the mountains that connects up with the main river here. So I would imagine that a lot of cities would have their start somewhere in this general vicinity. There are a lot of reasons why, but you definitely see that in the Ottawa-Gatineau area too, because there are 2 historic cities that were built in the Ottawa-Gatineau area before it became what it is today, and that was Bytown in Ontario and Wrightstown in Quebec. So we're going to be kind of building our Bytown and Wrightstown in the Ottawa-Gatineau region, which is the amazing name for our series. So I'm going to be starting off trying to build 2 separate cities on 2 different sides of the river here. So this river is the river dividing the 2 provinces, and I'm thinking of leaning towards this side being the Ontario side and this side being the Quebec side. So with that, we are going to be starting off by building Bytown, our version of Bytown, in this kind of pocket here, and then Wrightstown on this side. But we'll get to those names in a second. So we gotta build our road, don't we? Let's grab our first road of City Skylines 2. And oh my gosh, we have a lot more than I had in the tutorial. Holy cow. Okay, let's find a couple roads here and let's kind of start planning out a little bit of a grid. We gotta be mindful of our cash flow too. All right, so I'm looking at some themes here, and what I want to do is I want to build like a classic grid off of this road here and make it very simple and whatnot. Maybe some more rectangular in nature than square, and then we're going to try and figure out a bridge point. Probably over here would probably make the most sense for a bridge in this area here, but we might end up finding a different location here. Like right across here looks like a good spot, but I don't think that'll be a good bridge point for us. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of use the grid that they've already kind of laid out and just understand that we are going to 100% change this interchange at some point. But I want to use the rivers here as well to be kind of our grid point. And I'm actually looking at this slot right here as a good kind of river edge for utilizing that kind of area for our grid to kind of go off of. And I really like that zone, but I wonder if we can put contour lines on. Yeah, we can. Okay, so I wonder, does this cost money like it didn't? Whoa, whoopsies. See, we really are learning here. Vegetation, softened terrain. Okay, holy cow. Okay, so let's roughly guess right about here. I think this is going to be a good kind of grid to have. Maybe looking at the right side of that gray kind of outbox that's right along the river. I'm trying to make it equal so there's enough water on both sides. And I think we can go with that. That's a pretty solid straight line right there, right along the riverfront. I think that is pretty darn good. So I think this is going to be what our grid for this town is going to be built off of. And 2-lane wooden covered bridge. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. You can just place bridges. So fun thing, I never really looked too far into the mechanics of the game because I wanted to keep things fresh and make this a genuine kind of learn to play series. So looking at kind of how things are working and stuff, I'm going to be looking at this for the first time. Like, what is this button? Roundabouts? My goodness. So I'm hoping that we can learn to play this game together because that is, what I found really interesting about Cities Skylines 1 is learning to play it with people that I was watching on YouTube. So I'm thinking, we're going to create these long rectangular grids. What should the grid length be? I became so accustomed to a certain way of life in Cities Skylines 1 that I don't know how things are going to be over here. It looks like there are 6 grid squares in depth. So I'm thinking that if we want to make it even, then we got to do 3. Then that creates an opportunity for some awkward zoning patterns, at least from what I am inferring. I don't actually know that, of course. But yeah, okay, this is going to make for some really interesting grid patterns here. Okay, so what should the first grid size be? Assuming that since the grid is 6 deep, we're going to need to make sure that we have enough distance between some of these. So I want to make it rectangular. We have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe we go like at least 18 further. So that is 9 by 18. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can maybe maintain that grid for a little bit. All right, so I am wary that I am building a bit too many roads for what we need. So I'm thinking with this kind of road connection into here, I want to make this road as straight as we possibly can because that is how grids are laid out in the area that we're kind of building. So I'm going to pretty much bring this out to about here. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, I'm a big stickler for proper zoning and making sure that the zoning... the zoning grids are actually maintained. So I'm thinking right about here, because we're at a bit of an awkward spot now, we can get this simple curve in. And I think we can just do something like that. Yeah, very good. So very, very simple road connection into here. We don't need anything really beyond that. And we have our first grid over on this side. This also leads well into a future bridge connection into Wrightsville, but it's going to have its own separate grid. That's kind of how cities are built up. They don't always necessarily have to maintain the grid across a body of water, particularly if it was built up independently. So why are we building this road along the waterfront here? Or in this town along the waterfront? Well, the towns in the Ottawa-Gatineau area spawned up because of lumber. Lumber was the big kind of industry of the day. And look at this, we are full of trees over here, which is really, really awesome. So then they would, bring the logs down via the river and get them right along the waterfront to be processed or nearby at a mill. But they're often built by a landing area as well for a very simple dock in the area as well. So that's why they're kind of built up along the waterfront. Very, very simple little history there. So we have our connection point now, and we have some pretty good grids. Now I did see we had like an alleyway. That is really cool. It's a bit more expensive, but I mean, in a way it's the same as the this road here. And you look at this, if we put this right down the middle here, we actually split the whoops, I want this to be a straight road. We actually split the grid up too, which is really, really cool. So maybe we can do this inside of this area, but this way we have like zoning only on one side, but I don't really know how to force that, so we can see how this works in a second. All right, so we have our little simple connection here, and let's start zoning a little bit. Let's start with residential, and we can see the difference with the residential in this kind of pocket here. I think that'll be a cool kind of addition. Let's throw up the speed to 3 speed. We're losing our residential demand and we're gaining industrial demand. So I want the industry along the waterfront because that is, a typical industry for the area, an industrial theme. And we definitely need water as well. I did see that chirper announcement. And we'll go with 3 deep there with industry on this side. So we need power and water. One thing that I like to do when building in Cities Skylines is just understanding that I'm going to be moving the power and the water infrastructure out of the starting tile as soon as feasibly possible. So I'm just going to grab our road system. So we have our 4-lane road leading into a 2-lane road. That doesn't really make sense, right? Well, this is a great opportunity for us to kind of just go right off of here, right down to the waterfront, where we can get a very simple and crude road. But the benefit of this, actually, I'm just going to delete that and make sure that we actually maintain our grid lines because I am a big stickler for that. Okay, I did hear that the zoning was a little frustrating in the game. Like it doesn't go perfectly clean as it appears that it would. So I think we're going to be able to stick with that. And then from here, I'm also just going to go up from right about here. Why not? And just kind of create a bit of space in this awkward area that is this like starting tile entry zone. And this is where we're going to put our power and our water. So transformer station, this wasn't in the tutorial. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sweet. So I think we're going to run with the wind power because I like that more than the small coal power plant. I like the idea of wind, but looking at the voltage, it's pretty tough. It's 0 to 5 megawatts versus the coal power plant is 20 megawatts of both low and high voltage. So it costs 70 grand to upkeep a month. Holy cow, versus 15. Okay, so 4 of these, 4 and, basically 5 of these wind turbines equals the monthly upkeep for the small coal power plant. But the small coal power plant is only 20 megawatts, whereas this one is, is 0 to 5. So it's pretty equal, but I wonder how many megawatts we can get out of this. Looks like we're getting 4.2 right over here. And I don't know if these need to be beside the, I don't know if these need to be beside a road or not. Looks like it snaps onto it, which is interesting. This one gives 100 XP. This gives 300 XP. So it actually seems like it might be more efficient for us to use this. I mean, I guess it's what are we looking at efficiency-wise? Long-term upkeep? Current price? This is a tough one. I'm actually thinking of actually switching up gears very quickly and looking at the water infrastructure first, because how much money we spend on the water infrastructure might influence how much money we've left over for the power upkeep. So we have a sewage outlet, very important. I don't think we have underground water treatment, do we? Doesn't look like it. So we're probably going to need to get this downriver as much as possible. There's a good chance that if we put the water flow out over on this side, well, you know, it might get trapped under this covered bridge, but I think that's probably our best bet. I think if we just get a road out that way, we should be good. But, I mean, why not just get it right here? I'm not sure if this has to be close to a road or not. Just in case it does, we place that. So that is the sewage connection, and we just need to create a sewage connection into here, I believe. So let's snap into this. Okay, so it appears that it's working. I didn't really do anything except for get it close to the road. Interesting. Okay. So I think we should be good. We'll see. And then we need a water treatment plant. So we have a groundwater treatment plant, and look at this. We have groundwater over here. So that is our residential area, though. I see this definitely being a residential slash like business area. So we've got to make sure that we don't have any pollution in this groundwater if we need to. So that's a really cool addition in Cities Skylines 2 that I'm really, really enjoying. But we also have the water pumping station that we can just pump water. But, you know, we're going to have our industry over here. So if we were to get that pump from the water, we're going to need to get it all the way over there. So I'm thinking we're going to run with the groundwater pump. And let's just grab a little bit more road over here. I think it'll be beneficial for us to just kind of get a little bit more out this way, and let's place down the water pump right on this corner here. That's pretty cool. Let's get it in this direction. Why? No reason. Just because. This looks a little industrial. I was hoping that it might look a little bit more residential. Sometimes they like to hide water pumps like that in residential areas by kind of blending it in, but that's cool. I like this building a lot. I really like the modular factors of everything. And upgrades, what the heck are these? Holy cow. Okay, I don't think I want to click this because it might just activate it right away. And we don't have the capital. Okay, so that is water. Did the water pipe connect in? Oh, it looks like it did. Okay, because that's blue going into the blue, and the yellow is the sewage. Okay, and the yellow, it's not connected. That's what's making me worried. So this whole situation might be like a moot point here. Looks like that's connected, but it didn't connect up into this. Can it connect up, please? No, I don't know what's happening here. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So with that, we have a ton of money left. So we can get the game to sim. Actually, hold on. We can't because we need to do this. But 100. I think I'm just gonna go with the coal power plant. That's what That's what the deal was back in the day with Cities Skylines 1. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do the coal power plant right over here. A city service building has no road access. That is because I snapped it way too far away from this. There we go. So we have road access now, and very cool. I really like this building. Very, very neat. It's got the brick. I love bricks. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen my other series, I love building brick-themed areas. This is very cool because we have the transformer over here, then we have our power connection out over here. Okay, so it looks like we need to connect up the power lines over on this side. So we have this, and if we snap that in, there we go. We can bring this way. Okay. And then we can just connect it up like that, right? Okay, and then looks like it has that yellow thing, so I'm assuming that's a sewage connection. No, why would it be a sewage connection? Of course, that's via the road. Looks like it's, oh, okay. It's a transmitter. All right, so do we need to connect this to a transformer then? Or are we good? Do we need a city transformer? And what is this symbol now? High rent. Well, I didn't do anything about that. That is the landlord's problem. I'm just the mayor. But looks like we're getting the buildings in here. And look at this. This is really cool. I'm loving these houses. That's a really cool looking house. Are those solar panels on the roof? That's awesome. All right, well, let's find the first citizen coming in. Once they arrive. Oh, okay, we got 2 cars coming in. And the first citizen will get a major road named after them. And they're on a motorcycle. That is amazing. Okay, so we have, that's a motorcycle, yes. We have Erica Yates. All right, they're homeless right now. Well, they're going to their house. All the way over. Whoa, all the way over here. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so we got Yates. I think maybe we can create, oh, Mill Lane. That's a fantastic name. So why don't we have this main street, we'll just Empire Lane. Okay, I can't get rid of Empire Lane. Okay, well, their house was on Birch Lane, so let's change Birch Lane to Yates Street. Okay, fantastic. So hold me to this. Don't let me change that name, okay? I like to name things with the, you know, the suffix with a period at the end, so I know that that's something that I've named, but sometimes I just forget. Okay, so, oh, one thing I wanted to mention is if the settings look a little off or something like that, well, I'm still trying to figure out like how the settings should work in my game for my computer and whatnot. So, yeah, just, if you notice the settings change over the course of the next few episodes, that's just because I'm kind of tweaking things a little bit still. All right, so we have our commercial zone now because we have a ton of commercial and residential demand. Let's pause the game and zone up some commercial. I like to throw the commercial in these kind of spots here. Yeah, hopefully things work out like that. We shouldn't really need too much more industry, but I can zone up a little bit more industry. That is one of the coolest features, the build through a different road. That is amazing. Okay, so we have an overabundance of electricity. We're selling the access to the outside world. That is cool. Kind of like that. Oh, whoa, holy cow. Okay, this opened things up. Yes, the citizens can tell me things. That's something that I enjoy. Running out of fuel, visit our new gas station. Awesome, okay. Good that people's cars won't run out of gas. And where is that gas station? I don't know. But we have 2 haircut places right beside each other. Holy cow, the parking lots are awesome. This is oh, there's the gas station. That's awesome. Okay, let's, I don't want to make this gas station historical, but that's a really cool looking building. Oh wait, we can't make anything historical. I forgot about that. Okay. Changes some things in my mind. All right, so we have our power, we have our water, that we've set ourselves up really, really nicely for the future. So we are almost at the next milestone here. Oh, hold on, this is development trees. Oh, there's milestones, okay. So we're almost there, and then once we hit this, we unlock some development points, and we also get some increase in our money and stuff like that. So I think we can spend a little bit more cash. It looks like they're a little bit more forgiving than they used to be in Cities Skylines. So we've tried out expanding our residential zone like this. Let's see what it looks like if we were to just zone up this whole block and see the difference. Population increase, the happiness increase, that is fantastic. We have a bit of industry demand, always looking down here, a bit of residential demand. The residential demand is significant. That is really good to see. I'm curious about this building though. Is there like a pollution radius to it? So what I like to do when I'm playing my cities, so just a little fair warning, is I like to kind of push the realism aspects to how cities are designed. So for example, there would totally be a house right beside a water treatment plant in real life. Is this a little too close maybe for the starting town? Yeah, probably, but that's okay. Tiny Village, holy cow. So we have achieved Tiny Village. We got a $600,000 bonus, 1 gold star, and a 3 green diamond. So we got to figure out what those are. But let's go to the progression panel and figure out what those are. So let's see. We got to get to Small Village next, which is done by XP, not population. That's really cool. I didn't know that. And then there's a big milestone of Grand Village. That's awesome. I think that's something we're going to try to push for next episode, or maybe even the episode after. But Small Village, what do we get in Small Village? Well, we get education. So that's something really cool to push for. But we got a Tiny Village. Let's see what we got unlocked. We got a loan. We got more map tiles. Awesome. I don't think we need that. I like to kind of play slow. City budget. Awesome. Stats. Sick. Row density housing. That's awesome. I really like that. Roads. Different roads. Healthcare. Okay. Garbage. Okay. Pause the game. In Cities Skylines 1, my biggest tip was right away ignore everything else and go with garbage. Because if you're building and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden your city can just get overwhelmed by garbage consumption. That's how it was in Cities Skylines 1. I'm assuming that Cities Skylines 2 might be similar. So I'm going to start with this and spend all the possible money, even though it looks like they're giving us a bit of leeway here, because that's a lot of cash for where we are compared to what it was in Cities Skylines 1. And then we'll go into death care and healthcare right after that, and continuing with the zoning. So we have a lot of medium density demand. That's really, really cool. Let's add in another road here. I like the idea of kind of continuing these small kind of roads through here. Maybe we can do one more grid length like that. Seems like these buildings are a little bit bigger than I was expecting them to be. I was expecting like a lot of smaller buildings. I know that 2x2 is the smallest building that you can go, but I think we can probably stay with that. All right, but let's go to garbage before I forget. And we have garbage management. Okay, here's a little tutorial. Good garbage management keeps, holy cow. Good garbage management system keeps citizens healthier and happier. Okay, that's great. The landfill basic garbage facility, awesome. And here we go, building a landfill. Let's just figure it out. We don't need these tips, but if you want to read them, you can see them. So I like to just create like a really dirty zone and just, this is our dirty industry area. So yeah, let's try to keep this out of the river though as much as we can. So there we go. And then this is our landfill zone. Okay. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we're getting a little close to the river here, but I like to just kind of designate a zone as this is where all the, the bad stuff goes. And we can just kind of forget about it in our little happy area over here where we're building our cute little town. So there we go, landfill. That was 70 grand. Looks like we have a lot more cash than we used to in Cities Skylines 1. Okay, healthcare time. Good healthcare system prevents diseases and untimely deaths. Clinics and hospitals, and building healthcare services. So the green is, kind of the zone of effect. All right. Build a medical clinic. All right, so let's find a good spot for that. This is going to be the main road. Now, you may have anticipated, Stephen, that is a 2-lane road going into the town here. That does not seem very good. Yeah, because we're going to expand it. So a building like this, I don't necessarily want on this main road because we're going to expand it, co-op some land from some of these buildings and make it seem like it was built over time differently. So I think we're just going to have to place it over here beside our water treatment plant. Or we can kind of just plan for it because it doesn't really fit in this kind of pocket here, which we kind of need it for. So I guess we're going to have to plop this down right here. Oh, that is very cool. I love that parking lot. I'm just honestly amazed with the parking lots in this game. All right, so this hazardous waste collection, garbage truck depot. Oh, this is garbage. Okay, I was very confused there. And then death care. Okay, so we need a death care cemetery. Death care is something that I always recommend doing right away. And you often see death care placed right along, on a hill. Let's see, death care. The cemetery, I think we can upgrade the cemetery too, just came with everything. Build a cemetery. Okay, that's something we're definitely going to do. But let's look at the terrain tools and let's see where our hill is. Oh, we have some symbols over there. Okay, my goodness. Up here in the forest area, that is probably our best bet for a cemetery. So let's get up there as soon as we figure out what this is. What is this symbol? Lack of labor. Okay, because we need a zone. Holy cow, this is really pushing me here. All right. Let's get some zoning here. And I understand that this is the smallest you can make zoning. So with the row houses can be 1 by 2. I saw that in one of their Q&As yesterday, Colossal Order. I am recording this on the 24th of October. So we're going to let these all zone in like this, and then we'll do the other side. And again, with the understanding that these houses are probably going to get destroyed. That's just the unfortunate situation but that we're playing with. But this will allow us to get a ton more in here. And hopefully people will start working it this way. But let's continue our grid planning with just the larger size of the grid. Okay, so I think this is going to be a temporary road. And why are all these cars parked here? I guess you can't park on the dirt roads. They're all walking in. Okay. This is something we're going to need to address then. Let's get the cemetery in and address the parking situation. Okay, so the cemetery, let's place this down. I like the idea of plopping it down like right here. So let's do that. Yeah, very cool. I don't love how it terraformed there. That is interesting. But let's see if we can fix that with some terrain tools here. So the hitbox is something you just gotta erase. So let's go around the building here and just kind of go further than we thought was necessary to redeem the hitbox. Then we go into the smoothing tool and just erase the line around there. Now, what is interesting is that there is a lake that is more elevated than the terrain we're just building up. So we gotta definitely watch out for that. But I think this is a good spot to place the cemetery. Perhaps actually over on this side would be another good spot. Like right up against this road. Okay, so I like this spot here because this building here, it could be like an old church or something like that, right? So this is a bit closer to the town. It's on the town's grid size, which is pretty cool too. Okay, I think I'm leaning towards this side now that we've kind of placed this down. But let's again terraform out the hitbox. So here we go. Right click on the size on the terrain part that you like, the terrain part that you want to use, and then hold down left click, and then we're just going to smooth out the hitbox from a further distance away than what was originally there. And then we're looking at it now, it looks a lot smoother. So it looks like there's some pedestrian paths along this, so we can make this part of a park if we wanted to down the line, but I don't know how to do that yet. So we'll figure it out. Let's figure out the parking situation for these fine folks of what is the first town in the area, which I still haven't said the name of yet. Okay, so let's bring this one out to about here, down, fantastic. Connect up, please. Very good. Then we have this frontage road opportunity here. Very cool. We got to figure out how that works. But I would love to just run right across here with a bit of like a key wall, but I don't know how to do that yet. So we'll just kind of say we can go out to about here for now. And then we got to choose a point in which we can say, you know what, the grid size can change. And maybe that is at this point here. Probably with the clinics and stuff like that too. Maybe we do one more so that it kind of continues the theme a little bit more beyond the break in the small road system like we have with the clinic and the water treatment plant. But then right after that, on the next one, we can make it a larger grid size. Awesome. So we have this row housing here, which is very cool, but we still don't have parking. So let's figure out the parking situation here. And I might have overdone it with these small one-way roads here. So let's go to basic roads, medium roads, Okay, we don't need a medium road just yet. But maybe we should upgrade this whole road to a medium road, because it seems like we don't actually need to worry about money too much. 4-lane divided road. Okay, that's pretty cool. 5-lane asymmetric road. Okay, we're looking for just these smaller roads. 3-lane asymmetric, pedestrian street, alley. Okay, let's just upgrade to this 2-lane road here. Whoa, okay, this is very cool. So looks like I anticipated that this road would be the same size as the dirt road here. So that was a big mistake. All right, so we're going to call a big mulligan on that, right? And I'm sorry if you're seeing this achievement overlay that is on my screen. It might not be picked up by my recording software, but I just deleted everything. We redid the grids. I think the grids should be somewhat good now. They're slightly off a little bit, but I don't really mind that for this kind of town. It looks like things are pretty interesting. We have the alleyways still. That's something that I really wanted to keep behind the commercial buildings too. It splits things up a little bit more. I'm curious to see what this style of row housing looks like now that we've upgraded it. But oh wow, that is amazing. Just like the detail is incredible. I really enjoy that. But yeah, okay, so I think we're back on track now after that little mulligan. Yeah, looks like we have a ton of commercial demand. Let's try and meet that demand. I don't love this view that we're getting here, how it always goes into like a white overlay. That's not my favorite thing, but that's okay. Let's go to about here with some commercial. I think that would be a good addition. And let's just kind of continue building out a little bit more as well, using the proper roads now. That's something that we definitely learned. So you know what, this is a learn to play series for a reason, right? I don't know how to play the game. That is a genuine mistake that I made with the roads. So let's build out this way. Very good. And then I think we were building in this grid here, leaving 3 on each side of the road, so that's 6 total. Is that what it is still? Because I'm all thrown off now. There is 8 in this grid. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at the roads here, and we have lights on every single one of these, and that is not cool. I wonder how to. I'm just curious on how we do this. So I'm gonna figure out how to remove the lights on all these roads, because I don't want lights on every single intersection here, especially with the alleyways here. That's not what I was anticipating. Oh, while I was trying to figure that out, we hit small village. So how fantastic is that? We got 2 greens and we got 2 yellows. Still haven't figured out what those means. I think the yellow's development points. Development, there we go. Roads, okay. Road services. Oh, okay, this is how we do it. There we go, that makes sense. Road maintenance facilities, traffic lights and signs, as well as roadside decorations. Let's unlock that for sure. Unlock. Roundabouts, I don't think we need roundabouts just yet, but that's okay. Gas power plant, emergency station, or emergency battery station. Okay, interesting. Okay, gas, thermal, that's the one I want. So I think this is something that we should do if we're looking at power. But water, I think we're good for water for now. I like to hang on to these things. I don't just like to throw development points out. Whenever I'm playing any kind of video game, I like to hang on to these. Basic education services, that's something we just unlocked. I don't think we need to use any development points on that yet. If anything, we might want to use like underground parking, or sorry, the parking or the highways, but I just don't think we need to yet. That's the thing. So we're going for large village now. And hopefully we can get this in this episode. And yeah, we get police and fire. Fantastic. So what did we just unlock? Schools. Okay, fantastic. Let's hop out. Wow, this row housing looks amazing. I love this. This is awesome. Okay, so these buildings remind me a lot of actually buildings that are in Ottawa. So I'm really glad that these buildings are here. They're a little bit, larger. The row housing isn't exactly the same, but, definitely see this kind of medium density in this kind of area. So I know I've kind of not talked about Ottawa a lot while building this yet because I've just been kind of building this series, but I'll get to some themes in a minute. Once we figure out how to do this, the traffic here. Okay, road services. Road lights. Is this to put on a light or to take off a light? Oh, I just took off a light. That was right clicking and I did that. Okay. I guess it'll probably tell me if I just click through this, but I don't have time for that. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so if I right click using this one, I get a light, or I take off a light. So I want to take off the lights on all of the alleyways. Okay, I think we're good there. Is there a light here? No. This is probably going to be a stop sign. Folks, this is just an incredible amount of detail. The no left turn, the no straight, the right ahead, the wide sidewalk, the grass, the lighting, like what the heck? Holy cow, I'm beyond my depth here at the moment. But we have just an incredible amount of demand right now, and something that someone wants. High rent. I don't control the rent, folks. So let's get some more zoning in through here. This is going to be just a bit of a commercial zone, I guess. I'm leaving a bit of space around here because I know you can upgrade these things, and I'm a little worried, that's all. We got a bit more residential to do, but also education. Okay, we need education. That is something that we really need to do. And I love how the alleyway is like this. We have the kind of buildings backing onto it. I kind of wish you could put parking onto it, but I wonder if that's a service here. Crosswalk. Road maintenance depot. Base of operations for road maintenance personnel. Okay. Snow clearing. That's something we're going to need to pay attention to. I hope there's snow on this map. I think it said that this map is a -5 to +30 or something like that. North American. So there should be a bit of snow, but definitely not as much as Ottawa actually gets. But this rain is very loud. Let's back out of this so it's less loud. Holy cow. So the road maintenance depot is something that we could totally place down. That is huge. Should this go in our just kind of dirty zone area? Probably, but why don't we place this down right over here? We've done a lot so far. This is great. I'm really enjoying this this city. Let's get some education in here. What are these green dots? I'm assuming they're new things. North American medium density housing. And then row housing. What's the difference? Let's see. Let's take out this building. Pause the game, take out that one. And then, yeah, see, more achievements over here. I'm hoping you can see that and you don't think I'm just going crazy. But let's see what this looks like once it's built. Okay, I'll come back to it. I'm glad to see our gas station is still there. Okay, education. So we have an elementary school and a high school. So I think the elementary school is something that we should totally place in. This is a very large building. Very interesting factor to play with. But why don't we just place it right here then? So why don't we just plop it down right like that and give ourselves a bunch of space to upgrade them. Because that is a really cool building as well. Maybe it's an old like administrative building of the something. We can see, but we don't need a high school yet. I don't think we need a high school. That's fine. But we do need zoning. So we have a lot of low density zoning to do. I think we could probably just low density zone this entire area, to be honest. You know what? I'm gonna stop zoning up a little bit too much and let's take a look at this medium density housing that we got. That's awesome. That's really cool. These buildings are fantastic in this game. Wow. Love this gas station here. That's very cool. I like how the concrete blends together If you if you're new to the channel and you didn't watch Cities Skylines 1, I'm a stickler for the concrete stuff. When the buildings didn't blend together, I was a stickler for that. So I'm glad to see that they are blending together now. That is awesome. All right, so if we want to level up to the next level here, we are definitely going to need to push for some more XP. And we get XP just by kind of building up and leveling up and whatnot. Do we even have like pedestrian paths yet and stuff like that? Oh, we do. Wow. Okay. And a bridge too. Pedestrian bridge. Pedestrian covered bridge. That is fantastic. I kind of want to talk more about Ottawa itself and get kind of like set ourselves up for the next kind of area in here, which maybe we can just expand on next episode or something like that. But we should totally get a bridge in and plan that out. So why don't we try and find kind of the grid lines for this side of the area. So I think maybe if we learned our lesson, we shouldn't use that road. Holy cow, Steven. Okay. I'm thinking we're kind of emerge at the confluence of these two rivers here, and this is where we're going to have our next grid. Right, kind of like this, I think. We're just kind of winging it anyways. And look at that. We have a clean connection point with that node right there. That is awesome. But I don't know if this bridge is necessarily going to be tall enough for right there. That is the thing. Bridges are a little difficult. What the heck is that zoning? My goodness, that's horrible. Let's delete this. Bridges are a little tough because boats need to get underneath them, right? So if we were to just do a bridge, let's take this covered bridge, for example, and run it right across. It's a little too low. So we need to get it high enough at a certain point to do that. And maybe this is a better option for that. This is a really cool bridge. I like this bridge. I still think it's not tall enough though. So we're gonna really need to figure out a different system here than we currently have in play to get a bridge across the river. So I don't even know if we're going to whoa, what's happening? Jeez. I don't even know if we're gonna get a bridge over in this area yet, if at all. So this is gonna be our old town like we talked about, right? So maybe we think about getting a bridge in a more designated spot, like right here. We can kind of find maybe right where this curves, elevate it, get a cool large bridge up here, and leave it as kind of the larger bridge in the area. And these smaller bridges that I was thinking about building might just not be necessary. In the grand scheme of things, there will be more bridges to come in the area. But one thing that is difficult to build are bridges. They're very expensive. So there can't be too many of them, which is going to create some really unique problems and traffic issues in our city. Something that I'm pre-planning for and anticipating. So, mentioning the history of Ottawa-Gatineau, like I mentioned, timber was a very big factor. Building timber mills near sources of fast-moving water was also very important. So for example, we have our area over here with our industry right along kind of a bend in the river where timber could get set. We're gonna do the same thing right here because we have the smaller river which could potentially power mills and stuff like that. So like I mentioned, we're gonna get that road somewhere here. Let's make sure that we're actually at ground level. And actually I like the idea of just kind of going with how the river is, just like that. Okay, so that is going to be the road layout that we're going to use for next episode when we build the next area. But we need to build this bridge over here because we're going to need to get services out this way no matter what. No matter what we're going to do today, we're going to need to at least do this part tomorrow or Friday in Friday's episode. If you're new to the channel, I release episodes Mondays and Fridays. Okay, so this is the node where we have this curve. So I think this is going to be the spot where we need to place the road over the river here. All right, and this city is growing fast. This is a lot faster than things used to be in the City Skylines, in City Skylines 1. Holy moly. Okay, so let's get this back up to 13.25. Nope, even higher. Gotta level this out even higher. That's pretty good. That's pretty even. We've evened out right there. And then now we're gonna go with the bridge piece. We're gonna connect up right across. Okay, one big factor that I want to make sure that we get right is the amount of bridge pieces. So there's 3 right there. I only want 2. Perfect. Okay. And is that tall enough? That looks like it is tall enough. Okay, fantastic. Okay, all right. Look at this. Look at this. We're doing great. We got the first 3 milestones in. How fantastic is that? I love that. All right. Let's now just connect down to the ground here, and we'll do a bit more zoning. Fantastic. All right, and then we can continue on this side in next episode. But I haven't named this city yet, have I? And then can we build some of those pedestrian pathways? This is very cool. I love the pedestrian pathway. Can we turn off snapping? Snapping. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we can go right down the middle then. That is awesome. I love this. This is fantastic. Holy cow. Look at the path connections. Okay, and then look at this. Look at this. Perfect. Oh, wait, hold on. Can we do this? Look at that. A pedestrian crossing. A few more things that I've kind of put off because I got distracted by a few things. History of Ottawa Gatineau. So we're going to say that this is the Ottawa side of things, the Ontario side of things, and then we'll do the Gatineau side of things over here. So the Quebec side of things. Bytown spawned up because of the lumber mill, but also because of the Rideau Canal, a canal system which we will get into in very larger detail in a future episode once we figure out how the game kind of works. But the Bytown was named after, there's been a traffic accident. Police, fire, and healthcare services buildings need to send out vehicles. We don't have fire. Oh, we do. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's pause the game and talk about this. Bytown's named after Colonel By, who engineered the Rideau Canal. So I wanted to name the first Ontario side town after something similar to the Rideau Canal. So we're going to be naming the first town Wellington after the Prime Minister of England, who gave the go-ahead the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, who gave the go-ahead for the Rideau Canal. Apparently, Colonel By and Wellington butted heads a lot, but that is okay. We'll name the town Wellington, and then the other town, we will save that for when we actually talk about Quebec and Wrightstown, the first town in that area. So, let's see how we can name this district creation tool. Oh, we don't have districts yet. Okay, well, we'll name this town Wellington Street then, and we'll remember it. So Wellington Avenue runs all the way through here, and then we have this awesome bridge, which did the grid connect properly? I think we can just leave it like that. This was the grid's length I wanted to do. I might change that up after the episode. I'm not too sure. But I mean, that's really cool. I'm really glad that we got the bridge in too. So yeah, that is that. Let's get the fire and police in here because it seems like that's necessary for a functioning city, and I would agree. So let's see. We have this fire hall. It looks like an old building. I don't mind getting it on kind of this old main street, actually. That would be really cool. But I am worried about, for example, that being a little bit further away from some industry areas that we really need the fire hall for. So why don't we place the fire hall right here? Very cool. It looks also like maybe an old town hall or something like that's been converted. I don't know. Maybe it isn't a genuinely pre-built fire hall. And then this is on the main street here that goes up to the church, the old church here. So I think this is pretty good. Firefighting, yes, we all know about firefighting. All right, fire safety, fantastic. So and then we got to go to the police, and this is also another fantastic looking building. But this one requires a ton of space. We might need to throw this one out over here, for example. Very cool. Okay, I like that building actually right there. Very, very nice. Our town is coming along very, very cool. I rather enjoy this. What the heck is this building? Let's delete this one and see what else can pop in here. All right, so I just opened up this specialized industry tool, and my goodness, look at this. Very cool. We got chickens, livestock farming, and we unlock the other ones through different milestones. So I think maybe we could try and get this next time, but I don't think the chickens need to be on fertile land. That wouldn't make sense. So let's deal with that next time. That's very cool. But I just wanted to finish up a bit of zoning here because we have a bit of industrial zoning demand. And we're out over here in this little pocket of industry that we have. And there's just a bit more that we could do here just to add in a few more industrial buildings before we call it a day. But we have this little area over here that could be a cool little park. But I'm going to save that for another time. I really like the bridge here, but again, I think I might move that. And the education center here, look at these upgrades here. Attached children's clinic. Okay, interesting. More pupils. A playground provides. That's awesome. A playground. Let's attach a playground. That's awesome. Okay, so we got that playground in there. Very cool. And then if that's going to be the furthest we can go, then we can easily just add in maybe like a bit of a storefront right here, just to kind of fill out that little pocket of space. That is awesome. I'm really enjoying this game a lot. This is really cool. This is a cool game, folks. Definitely having a lot of fun in the in the region of Ottawa, Garneau, and the town of Wellington, which is the first town that we've completed, or we've started really in the area. But yeah, this is fantastic. I'm really excited to get going into the more metropolis kind of areas, which I'm not going to show you where I'm going to be placing them because that would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? But I'm really liking this. I'm looking forward to episode 2 when we get out into the Quebec side of things, changing things up a little bit because we're going for Grand Village. But we achieved the first 3 milestones in today's episode. This was a ton of fun, everyone. I really enjoyed this. Let's get a cool little screenshot here. Let's see if we can figure out the screenshots. Let's see. So we go into the camera, and then I open this up, and then I just click. I click trash, and then I click this one, and then I click play. There we go. So I hope you had a wonderful day, folks. Oh, hold on. Let's get a better view here. I'm not ending this episode yet, folks. Let's see, down. There we go. It's the reverse of what it was in Cities Skylines 1. Let's go up a little bit more. Got a couple things in the backgrounds here that I wanted to make sure that we got. Very good. Okay, and then I now click garbage, and then this one, and then play. Hope you had a fun time today, folks. I sure did. Happy Cities Skylines 2 Day, and I will talk to you all soon in the next episode on Friday. Peace out.